In this episode, we snorkel the wrecks at Tangalooma. We get hit by a 60-knot squall. We use a hookah to clean our hull, and we go sledging on the sand dunes in Moreton Bay.
You and me, we're family. The bond that we share is as deep as the sea. No matter how rough things may come to be, you and me, we're family. Sing home.
So we are making our way south. We've now passed Mackay, where we entered into Australia, and we're heading south towards Brisbane.
This morning was a spectacular sunrise, and yeah, it's been really good sailing conditions. The winds were so good last night that we kind of decided to aim a bit high and go for Whitsundays, but now the winds have dropped. We've kind of like stuck between a rock and a hard place because we're overshooting Magnetic Island, but we're not going to quite make Whitsundays. So we're going to scan the coast for a bit of an anchorage. And now we're making for Magnetic Island.
We're gonna anchor the boat while sailing.
So we anchored under sail. We didn't put the engine on at all. I would love it just doing like that the whole time without the engine ever, just under sail.
So we just sailed through the night from Magnetic Island, and now we're heading to Airlie Beach. So it was a really good night passage, really sort of steady breezes, almost flat seas, and we should be in sort of round about midday. The wind's just dropped temporarily, but we've been doing a nice sort of 5 or 6 knots all the way down. I'm hoping this wind hasn't dropped completely. I think it's just a temporary lull. But beautiful sunrise. We're all come down with a bit of a cold. I've got a bit of a sore throat, so the night watches aren't helping much. But at least we're working our way south to Brisbane.
It was raining and there's lightning, so we decided to get like our buckets out and our rain catcher. And I got really like wet and I'm now really cold, but yeah, it's in the morning, well kind of like morning, so probably should go do some school. And we're gonna make a hot chocolate because it's really cold. Which goes in through there, goes down the tube into the pot, I mean not the pot but the canister, and then as you can see it's starting to get filled up.
So it's the morning of the 29th. We did a stop over at Airlie Beach yesterday, then we did an overnighter, and we're just going with the wind now. We're heading to Lady Musgrave, but we're just going to see how far we get.
We might just stop in some of these islands, or we might just keep going. It depends really whether we want to rush to get there or take our time.
We've let the boys off doing night watches so they can go on the schooling en route, so Aranka and me are just kind of doubling up on that. But it's starting to take its toll a bit because we're all very tired. But looking forward to getting to Brisbane.
So this is Middle Percy Island, and apparently there's a very famous yacht club here that we would like to visit. So we didn't end up anchoring in Middle Percy this time because there was this bay around the south, but a lot of it was a drying height. And someone came over actually said to us that where we were was going to be a drying height, which was very bizarre because it was like 9 metres, and that means it must have a 9 metre tide, which is kind of really massive. So, and then we realised that once we get on shore, then we'll have to get off pretty quick because otherwise we'll get stuck on shore with our dinghy, and there was absolutely no shelter on shore. We were a little bit worried about the anchor chain getting caught in the bommies, because I've also heard from someone else that there's a lot of bull sharks and tiger sharks there, so do not swim there. And then to add to that, the walk we wanted to do over to the other side, even the local guy there said there's a lot of snakes. So it was just all racked against us really, and we decided to keep going because we haven't really got very long, and we'll probably hopefully make a stop there on the way back if there's a nice easterly, and we'll go on the other bay. But this time it wasn't to be. I can see why it's a big thing to get to Percy Yacht Club, because it's not easy, but next time. This one's right under our bow. Wow. It's really nice to see these huge dolphins here in Australia. We haven't seen much wildlife actually. Well, we have seen stuff, but it's all stuff that wants to kill you, and these don't. They're just lovely. So this, on our journey from Cairns down to Brisbane, this is our second pod of dolphins that's escorted us on this journey. So we feel very lucky, and it's definitely a good omen, as I keep saying.
So we're about 115 miles north of Brisbane now. Hopefully this will be the last night watch. We're due to get in sort of tomorrow afternoon, early evening, so it still might be dark when we get in. The wind's coming and going, but on the whole it's pretty good. It's behind us, slightly off to the starboard side at the moment, so we've got the Genoa poled out and the Vision on a preventer. The sea's been really kind to us actually, but I guess it's all sheltered by the barrier reef. We're kind of coming out of the barrier reef area now, just passing Fraser Island, and then there's just the stretch to Brisbane, which will complete the journey for this year and probably for the next few months. We're going to do some anchoring up the river and probably not move, and then get on with some work and hopefully earn some income and get on with some jobs on the boat. That's the plan anyway. Nothing's gone to plan this year, so we hope that a little bit of stability might mean we can do a little bit of planning and working and schooling and just get things back on a financial even keel, because we've been hit by quite a few bills lately, and it's completely flattened our finances.
Right, so I just came on watch, and I was looking at the weather because we're now kind of online a little bit, and there was this thunderstorm sort of coming our way, and I was thinking, oh, I can't really see it though, you know, it's pretty okay. And then the wind started building, and it kind of built up to 42 plus. I think our friends in front tea time said it was about 60 knots. Anyway, I sort of quickly got Woody. I was going to see the wind increasing, thinking we need to put the pole away, and then it literally just hit us so quick. So that's why we didn't video it. You see, you never really get it on video, but we're not making this up, honestly. And yeah, the lightning first was miles in front, and then it just was right there, thunder, it was crashing, and we put all the sails away pretty much. And I was going downwind, because even with, you know, with the tiny fraction of a handkerchief of a main out, we had to, we couldn't really stay on that course upwind. And as the storm hit us, it just swirled around the wind. So yeah, there's a cruise ship over there. I think they must have wondered where we were going, because our course just went really weird. But now, yeah, we're back on course, a little bit of wind, and I think the storm has passed. But yeah, our friends basically destroyed their bimini completely. Luckily on these Amels, it's quite low down, so you know, you don't get a lot of height on these cockpit enclosures, so it's all quite, you know, compact. and you know, less likely to blow away, really. Yeah, a little bit crazy. Glad that's over, and glad the lightning didn't cause any damage, because that was our main fear, really. But yeah, we continue our journey to Brisbane. What an epic one this is.
No, I'm just settling in nicely for my off watch, and I've got a tap on the shoulder, and we just got the pole down in time, and then suddenly it just hit us out of nowhere. It was just like landed on us like a ton of bricks. So it was very intense, and the thing is, when the wind hits you like that in the middle of a storm, the wind comes from all directions, so you never know quite what direction to steer in. And the sails are going on. We had 3 sails up. Each one of them had to be pulled in while we were trying to sort of work out where the wind was coming from. So yeah, I don't think I'm going quite off watch again for a while.
And so the other thing that was weird that happened at the same time was our Samsung tablet, which we rely on for navigation, because you know, some places we don't bother getting the full charts, we just get the mobile ones on there, and it's really great thing. It suddenly just stopped working, and I thought it was because it was wet, but it was because it basically hadn't been plugged in and it was discharged. So the funny thing is that Woody often puts his pyjamas on when he goes to sleep, and I'll just ask him what he's going to do now. Woody, are you going to put your pyjamas on?
Yeah, well, normally I'll put pyjamas on when I go off watch, because it's like a psychological thing. You only get 3 hours off watch, so you've got to make that transition to kind of sleep mode from sort of intense mode. So if you put your pyjamas on, it kind of like acts as a psychological sort of buffer zone. But obviously when you get woken up in the middle of your watch and it's an emergency, you've either got to get out there in your pyjamas, or you've got to quickly change out your pyjamas. Because in a normal watch system, you obviously allow a little bit of time. You know, you get up 5 minutes early so you can kind of get your wet clothes back on. But on this occasion, it didn't work so well. I need some fast recoil pyjamas. That's what you need. So there's a multi-million-pound idea there for somebody. Velcro pyjamas you can just rip off like strippers, you know.
If you like following our story, please hit the super thanks and help towards the creation of these videos. And if you'd like to have more access, we would love it if you join our Patreon family, where you get ad-free videos, cockpit sessions, downloads, guides, and you can message us directly. And yeah, I've kind of been up since 1 o'clock now, so I'm on that manicness. But anyway, yeah, we had this other problem because our topping lift of our mainsail got caught around the spreader, the shroud actually, and we couldn't get it off. So while I was sitting, I was trying to work out how to solve that problem, which I managed to do. I should have videoed it really again. But anyway, and we've got another squall coming through, so we've reefed up nicely and Woody's up, and soon I need to kind of try and calm down and go to sleep. But meanwhile, we're just going to watch this go past. We also noticed a lot more traffic as we left the Barrier Reef area and got closer to the shipping lanes. And these weren't just any ships, these were absolutely massive. We finally arrived in Moreton Bay, and our priority was go and find the beautiful sand dunes. Moreton Bay is massive, and so there are many smaller bays within it. It was no surprise that this small bay was called Sandy Hills.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain.
We're here in Brisbane, well, kind of not quite Brisbane, but this is Moreton Island, and there's Mothership out there, and the water's, it's high water, so we've just come in to go and explore the sand dunes, because they look awesome, very white, very steep.
Stingray.
We realised it had been a long time since we had seen water as clear as this.
And for the first time in a long time, I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago.
This is just so weird. I don't know if you can hear me with this wind, but it feels like we're in a kind of ski resort where it's just really hot and it's just sandy. It is the most bizarre thing ever.
I ain't going back, I'm not falling. I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and we're all going live. Still nobody knows, but I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes, and ain't no one in life.
So the fun job today is to clean the hull. Normally we do it with our snorkel and mask and just take a deep breath and go down and clean it and then come back up again. But today, exciting thing is that our friends on Jago, another Amel, have lent us their Hookah system. So it means we can both go down and breathe down there and we don't have to keep popping up, which is really nice. I'm actually excited about doing it for a change. So I'm going to show you the Hookah system. So this is the compressor, which is attached to our starter battery. Let's just show you how it goes down here. Wired up and going to our starter battery there.
And this is the pump, 24 amp, 12 volts. So we just basically clip it to the starter batteries. Obviously, we're trying not to run the starter batteries now.
Yeah, the pipe that goes to the whatever thing. And then it has all the wires going off from it here. And they are attached to regulators, which, so with these, you just pretty much and breathe. You have to kind of get used to staying down and just carrying on and not kind of thinking you need to come up and get air again. So take a bit of getting used to it. It's quite hard today because there's a strong current and the visibility is really bad, and there was a lot of jellyfish going past and we didn't know which ones they were, worrying that they were the stingers.
We told to come to this bay because it was the visibility was good and there weren't as many bull sharks around. But we just heard from Rob, of course, it's the worst visibility you've seen. It wasn't even worth taking the GoPro down because the visibility was just kind of about that far. And there were a lot of stingers down there, and we're not experts on stingers, and I don't think the really deadly ones come this far south, but even so, they say like everything in Australia wants to kill you, so just avoid it unless you know what it is. So I had to get back out and put my full wetsuit on, just to kind of protect us from the stingers. Yeah, I'm covered in sea wasps, which is another thing, so they just get in everywhere and they just give you little tiny little stings, and it's horrible. But the other thing is, like, I've got a fear of murky water and sharks ever since seeing Jaws when I was 7 years old. So this is one of my like worst nightmares, like low visibility, shark infested waters. And then somebody was telling me a story about how they'd caught the biggest ever great white ever caught was caught just down the coast a few miles. So it's like a living nightmare for me anyway to go down in these conditions and clean the hull. But anyway, it's done. It's a great system, really good. I mean, Rob said like once you've used it, you never want to go back to do snorkeling. Let's see what he means.
Tangalooma is where you'll find a line of wrecks that were scuttled back in the 1960s to provide a sheltered anchorage for smaller boats. There are a total of 15 boats that have been sunk, and they not only provide shelter but provide great snorkeling.
are kangaroo skewers, and we're gonna try them.
Thank you for watching and enjoying these videos. So if you're the type of person that would like to thank us in return, then you can simply click on the super thanks button below, or otherwise you can support us on Patreon and get more than just 4 videos a month from as little as $3 a month. We look forward to seeing you there.